You may not have put a name to the feeling, but you've likely felt it. One morning, your body just feels slower. Not painful, not dramatic, just not quite how it used to be. Another day, you forget why you walked into the room. Later that night, a cramp grabs your leg out of nowhere and pulls you out of sleep. You start to wonder, maybe this is just aging, but maybe it's not. Because sometimes, what feels like aging is actually your body whispering to you. Not yelling, not panicking, just quietly pointing to something it's missing. Not something big, not another prescription, just a few small nutrients that once came easily, but now, over time, have quietly faded from your system. You're not alone in this. Many people over 60 start noticing changes. Lower energy, a foggy mind, more restless nights, or subtle emotional shifts. And they chalk it up to just getting older. They slow down, they withdraw, they try to adjust. But your body doesn't need resignation. It needs recognition. It doesn't ask for perfection. It asks to be heard. The beautiful truth is, when you begin to understand what your body is asking for, you can begin to heal. Gently, naturally, with clarity. In this video, you're not going to be hit with fear or flooded with facts. Instead, you'll be gently guided back into awareness, back into relationship with your own body. We'll walk through 3 nutrients most seniors are missing, how their absence quietly affects your energy, your memory, your sleep, your mood, and how small, intentional steps can bring back the strength you didn't realize you were losing. Because your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for you to notice. You may be wondering, if these nutrients are so essential, why would I be missing them? After all, you've likely eaten a variety of foods in your life. You've tried to stay healthy, maybe even taken supplements. So how is it possible that something so basic could quietly go missing? The answer is, your body has changed, but no one warned you how much. When you were younger, your body absorbed what it needed with ease. Your stomach broke down food quickly, your cells soaked up vitamins, and your energy seemed to bounce back with just a good night's sleep. But after 60, something begins to shift, subtly, silently. Your digestion slows. That doesn't just mean you feel full longer, or can't eat as much. It means your stomach produces less stomach acid, which is actually a critical part of breaking down food and releasing the nutrients inside. Without enough acid, your body has a harder time extracting vitamin B12, calcium, iron, magnesium, and more. And yet, you don't feel it happening. It's not painful, it's not dramatic, but it's real. Your appetite may change. Many seniors start to notice that food doesn't appeal the same way it used to. You might eat smaller portions, or skip meals when you're not hungry. This may seem harmless, or even helpful. But it also means you're likely getting less of the vitamins and minerals you need to keep everything running smoothly. There's also medication. Over time, prescriptions become part of daily life. Blood pressure pills, diabetes medication, antacids for heartburn. Many of these drugs are helpful, even essential, but they come with a cost. For instance, common acid reducers can block your body's ability to absorb vitamin B12. Diuretics, the kind used for high blood pressure, can deplete your magnesium and potassium levels. And statins, widely used for cholesterol, may reduce the amount of CoQ10 in your body, an enzyme your cells rely on for energy. But nobody tells you that. You're handed the pills, you take them as directed, and you don't even realize that some of the fatigue, leg cramps, or brain fog you're feeling might be a side effect of long-term depletion. Not from illness, not from age, but from a quiet nutritional imbalance happening inside. And here's something even more important. Even if your diet hasn't changed much, the food itself has. The vegetables and grains grown today often contain fewer nutrients than they did decades ago. Overfarming, soil depletion, and faster crop cycles mean that the same salad you used to eat in 1985 might not nourish you the same way today. You're eating what you've always eaten, but your body's not getting what it used to get. So what does this mean? It means that what your body needs at 65 isn't exactly what it needed at 35. It means that even though you're doing nothing wrong, your body still might not be getting enough of what it truly requires to feel strong, clear-headed, and steady on your feet. It means your fatigue isn't laziness. Your forgetfulness isn't failure. Your muscle weakness isn't just aging. All of it might be your body's quiet request for something it's missing, something it can't get on its own. The good news? This is not a story of loss. This is a story of awareness. And once you become aware of what's happening, you can begin to change it. Replenishing these missing nutrients isn't about expensive pills or complicated routines. It's about listening, paying attention to the signals, choosing 1 or 2 small changes in how you eat, how you move, how you rest, and letting your body respond. Because the truth is, your body is still trying to take care of you. Even now, even when it's tired, Even when you feel disconnected from it, it's still working, still adapting, still hoping you'll notice. And when you do, when you give it just a little more of what it needs, it doesn't take long for things to shift. Your sleep becomes deeper, your thinking becomes clearer, your legs feel stronger, your confidence begins to return. This part of your life isn't about decline, it's about refinement. It's about understanding how to meet your body where it is now, not where it used to be. So as we begin to explore the 3 key nutrients most seniors are missing, remember this. This isn't about what you've done wrong. It's about what you're ready to do right, now. Let's begin with the first, and perhaps most silently essential, nutrient your body may be lacking. Vitamin B12. You've probably heard of it before. Maybe it was listed on the back of a multivitamin bottle. Maybe a doctor mentioned it briefly years ago. But what you may not realize is how deeply this one vitamin touches nearly every part of your well-being. Your energy, your memory, your mood, your nervous system, and even your balance. Vitamin B12 isn't optional. It's not just a nice extra. It's a fundamental building block for how your brain communicates with your body. It helps form red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your organs. It keeps the protective coating around your nerves intact, like insulation around a wire. Without enough B12, your nerves literally misfire. Messages get jumbled, and you begin to feel it, slowly, subtly, but steadily. The symptoms are easy to dismiss. You feel tired, but you chalk it up to a bad night's sleep. You forget a word or misplace your keys, and you think, well, I'm just getting older. You feel a strange numbness in your hands or feet, but it comes and goes, so you ignore it. You lose your balance once in the kitchen. You get irritable more often, or your emotions feel off. But here's the truth. These are not just quirks of aging. They are classic signs of B12 deficiency. And if left unaddressed, the damage doesn't just fade, it can become permanent. So how does this happen? Your body doesn't make B12 on its own. It has to come from the outside, from food or supplements. And B12 isn't found in plant foods naturally. It exists mostly in animal products, meat, fish, eggs, dairy. But even if you eat those things regularly, your body still has to go through a complex process to absorb B12 properly. And this is where things often begin to break down. To absorb B12, your stomach needs to produce enough stomach acid and a special protein called intrinsic factor. This combination allows your body to unlock the B12 from your food and carry it into your bloodstream. But as you age, both of these steps become less efficient. Your stomach produces less acid, and in some people, intrinsic factor declines significantly, especially for those over 60. And there's more. If you've been taking medications like proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux or heartburn, or metformin, often prescribed for diabetes, these can further block your ability to absorb B12. So even if your diet is healthy, even if you've made all the right choices, your body still may not be receiving what it needs. It's not your fault, it's just biology. But biology can be supported once you understand it. Now here's something important. The effects of B12 deficiency are reversible, if caught early. The nervous system is resilient. Your body wants to heal. When B12 is restored, many symptoms begin to improve within weeks, sometimes even days. But to catch it early, you have to listen. Ask yourself, have I felt more mentally foggy lately? Am I losing energy even with enough rest? Are my moods shifting for no clear reason? Do I feel a tingling in my feet, or a sense of imbalance when walking? Even one yes might be worth exploring. And what can you do? The first step is simple. Get curious. Talk to your doctor. Ask for a B12 blood test. Not just a general blood panel, but specifically your serum B12 level. And if possible, your methylmalonic acid, MMA level, which is a more sensitive marker of deficiency. And while you wait, you can begin gently. If you still eat animal products, try incorporating eggs, salmon, sardines, or yogurt more regularly. If you follow a plant-based diet, look into fortified foods like nutritional yeast or plant milks with added B12. And in many cases, especially for those over 60, supplementing with B12 in the form of methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin, often sublingual, under-the-tongue tablets, is a safe and effective way to restore levels. You don't need megadoses. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to begin, gently, attentively, patiently. Because the moment you begin giving your body what it was quietly asking for, it responds. People report clearer thoughts, fewer dizzy spells, stronger legs, deeper sleep, even brighter moods. Not from some magic drug, not from an overhaul of your entire lifestyle, but from listening to the subtle whispers of your body and meeting them with kindness. This is not about becoming who you were at 40. This is about reclaiming clarity and vitality for who you are now. It's about honoring your body's current needs, not comparing them to the past. And when it comes to B12, remember, this nutrient isn't about youth. It's about function. It's about feeling steady, awake, and connected again. It's about giving your nervous system a chance to speak clearly again, without static. You are not falling apart. You are not broken. You are simply missing something your body was designed to depend on. And once you restore it, the difference can feel like lifting a fog. Vitamin B12 may be small, but its absence can feel immense, and its return, quietly powerful. So let's not overlook it. Let's pay attention, and let your body finally exhale. Now let's turn to a mineral your body quietly relies on every single day, but one that so many people overlook: magnesium. It doesn't get as much attention as calcium or iron. You don't often hear people ask, "Am I low on magnesium?" But if you find yourself lying in bed with tense muscles, waking up with leg cramps, feeling mentally wired but physically exhausted, or struggling to sleep deeply, there's a chance magnesium is at the root of it all. Magnesium isn't just a supplement in a bottle. It's a relaxation mineral. It helps regulate over 300 enzyme processes in your body. It supports your heart rhythm, balances your blood pressure, calms your nervous system, and helps your muscles contract and release properly. Without it, things that are supposed to flow smoothly begin to feel tight, tense, or stuck. And magnesium isn't rare. It exists in green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains. But despite that, studies show that up to 50% of older adults are magnesium deficient, not because of some dramatic illness, but because of small, cumulative things that slowly lower magnesium over time, without you noticing. You may not feel it right away, but your body remembers. So let's look at what's really happening. First, as you get older, your body's ability to absorb magnesium from food declines. Your digestive tract changes. Certain enzymes become less active, and you might not be eating as much of the magnesium-rich foods you used to. Perhaps your appetite has changed. Perhaps chewing raw vegetables feels tougher now. Perhaps you avoid nuts or seeds because they don't sit well in your stomach anymore. That's understandable. But the cost is quiet depletion. Then come the medications. Do you take diuretics for blood pressure? Those can flush magnesium from your body every time you urinate. Do you use proton pump inhibitors for heartburn? Those reduce stomach acid, which you need to absorb magnesium. Even antibiotics and certain diabetes medications can play a role in long-term magnesium loss. And here's something else. Stress. Yes, emotional stress. The kind that builds slowly over the years. Caring for a partner, dealing with loneliness, financial worries, even watching the nightly news. Stress pushes your body to burn through magnesium more quickly. It activates your fight or flight system. And magnesium is one of the first minerals your body uses to calm it back down. So you're losing magnesium on many fronts. Not absorbing as much, eating less, excreting more, and using more just to stay emotionally steady. No wonder your legs cramp at night. No wonder your shoulders feel tight even when you're lying still. No wonder your sleep feels shallow, like you can't fall into that deep, replenishing rest anymore. But here's what's easy to miss. You probably don't look sick. Your blood tests might come back normal. You may still walk fine, eat fine, talk fine. But inside, your muscles, nerves, and brain might be crying out for this simple mineral. And the signs are often brushed off. You might say, "I've just had a stressful week," or "Maybe I'm drinking too much coffee," or "It's just old age." But the truth is, magnesium deficiency often hides behind everyday complaints. Restless legs, jaw tightness, migraines, tingling hands, racing heart at bedtime, feeling on edge without a clear reason. All of these can be related to not getting enough magnesium. So what can you do? Start small. You don't need to swallow a handful of pills or change your whole life overnight. First, begin with food. Try adding a handful of pumpkin seeds or almonds to your breakfast. Include spinach or chard in a soup or stir-fry. Eat avocados, bananas, or a piece of dark chocolate with high cacao content. Even these small additions can bring more magnesium into your day. Gently, naturally. Then look at your habits. If you're drinking multiple cups of coffee a day, try reducing by one. Caffeine acts as a diuretic and encourages magnesium loss. If you're taking medications that might be interfering, ask your doctor if it's worth checking your magnesium levels. Specifically red blood cell magnesium, which is more accurate than the standard serum test. And finally, consider a gentle supplement. Magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate are often better absorbed and easier on the stomach than other forms. Start low. See how your body responds. You don't need high doses. You need consistency. More isn't better. Enough is enough. Because here's the most beautiful part. Once you begin to restore your magnesium levels, the changes can feel subtle, but meaningful. You may notice you fall asleep more easily. Your legs don't twitch at night. Your digestion becomes smoother. Your mood softens. You don't react as quickly to small stressors. And maybe, just maybe, you feel more like yourself again. That's what magnesium gives, not flashiness, but ease. Not energy like a burst, but steadiness like a stream. And for many people over 60, that's exactly what's missing. Not just a mineral, but the feeling of calm inside your own body. This isn't a cure-all, but it's a reminder that the body is constantly speaking to you. Through every cramp, every restless night, every emotional swing, it's asking for something simple. Something it once had, but now needs help finding again. And you can give it that. Not through force, but through attention. Not through fear, but through gentle awareness. You're not broken. You're not fragile. You're simply being reminded, quietly, that your body still needs tending. Magnesium is not just a number on a chart. It's the feeling of release after tension. It's the breath that goes a little deeper. It's the rest that finally returns. So let this be your reminder. You don't have to feel this wound up forever. You can soften. You can rest. You can begin again. The third nutrient your body may be quietly craving is one that's almost invisible. Yet its absence echoes through nearly every system in your body. Omega-3 fatty acids. You won't feel its loss in a single moment. It doesn't announce itself like a cramp or a headache, but it lingers. In your joints, in your memory, in the background noise of inflammation that builds with time. And for many seniors, the quiet lack of omega-3s shows up as something you can't quite explain. A stiffness in the body, a fogginess in the mind, a sense that your emotions are riding waves you can't seem to control. So let's begin with what omega-3 really is. It's not just fish oil. It's not just another supplement at the pharmacy. Omega-3s are essential fatty acids. Essential, because your body can't make them on its own. They must come from outside sources, like oily fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, or algae. What do? They build your brain, literally. Your brain is nearly 60% fat by weight, and omega-3s make up a significant portion of its structure. Without enough, the connections between brain cells, your ability to think clearly, remember, process emotions, begin to weaken. They calm inflammation. As we age, low-level inflammation becomes more common. Achy joints, puffy ankles, sensitive digestion. These aren't just signs of wear and tear. They're often signs of an immune system that's working too hard. Omega-3s help bring that system back into balance. They support your heart, your mood, your eyes, your skin, your circulation. And yet, most people over 60 don't get enough. Why? Because our modern diets have become imbalanced. The average person consumes far more omega-6 fatty acids from vegetable oils, processed foods, fried snacks, than omega-3s. This imbalance tips the body toward inflammation, even when you're trying to eat well. Even when you're avoiding sugar or cutting salt, the ratio silently matters. And unlike magnesium or vitamin B12, omega-3 deficiency is harder to measure. You might not feel a single dramatic symptom. Instead, it shows up as slowness, of mind, of recovery, of emotion. You might feel more irritable than usual, more tired after stress, more forgetful after a nap. And it's easy to blame age, but often it's not aging, it's absence. Think back. Has your mind felt less sharp lately? Do you reach for the right word and it slips away? Are your knees or hands stiffer than they used to be, even when you haven't done anything to strain them? Do you feel your moods change more quickly, or a heaviness that's hard to shake? These can all be signs that your body is missing something foundational, something that once flowed easily through your food and your bloodstream, but now has grown scarce. And like the other nutrients we've explored, the solution isn't complicated. It's not about overhauling your life. It's about giving your body what it recognizes, what it remembers, and what it can use to restore itself. So what can you do? First, take a gentle look at your diet. Are you eating fatty fish at least twice a week? Salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring. These are some of the richest sources of EPA and DHA, the two forms of omega-3 your body needs most. If not, consider adding them in. Even one small serving a week can help begin the process. If fish doesn't appeal to you, or if you're vegetarian or vegan, there are still ways to nourish your system. Ground flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and walnuts contain ALA, another form of omega-3. While your body must convert ALA into the active forms, it's still a gentle and beneficial start. And in many cases, especially for older adults, a supplement can help bridge the gap. Look for one that provides both EPA and DHA, ideally from fish oil or algae oil, a good plant-based alternative. Make sure it's high quality, free of heavy metals, tested for purity, and easy on the stomach. You don't need a high dose. You need consistency. Omega-3s work quietly, like background music changing the mood of a room. They don't create instant fireworks, but over weeks and months, they shift the tone of how your body feels. Your joints may ache less. Your thoughts may feel clearer. You may feel a little more emotionally steady. And over time, that soft improvement becomes something solid you can rely on again. And remember, omega-3s don't just improve how you feel today. They help protect your future. Research has shown that low omega-3 levels are linked with increased risk of cognitive decline, heart disease, and depression in older adults. But those risks aren't fates. They're invitations to support your body now, before it starts asking louder. And isn't that what aging well is about? Not reversing the clock, but moving forward with clarity, with support, with intention. So let this be your moment. Not to fear inflammation or memory loss, but to respect what your body needs to prevent them. Not to chase youth, but to nurture wisdom, starting from the inside out. You are not falling behind. You are learning what your body has always known, that with the right support, even the quietest systems can become strong again. That nourishment isn't a fix, it's a form of love, and that love begins with presence. So today, whether it's a handful of walnuts, a small piece of salmon, or a single softgel in the morning, know this. You are giving your body something it remembers, something it has missed, something that makes it whole. And sometimes, the most profound healing begins with something as simple as that. Your body has never stopped speaking to you. It never turned cold, never shut down communication, never gave up on trying to reach you. The signals have always been there, just softer, more subtle, more like whispers than warnings. A little more fatigue than usual, a night of sleep that didn't quite restore you, a moment of confusion when you knew you used to be sharper, a tightness in the legs, an ache in the joints, a mood that dips, not because something happened, but because something is missing. These are not random. They're not just the price of aging. They're messages from the deeper part of you, the part that remembers wholeness and is trying to guide you back. Your body is incredibly wise. It adapts to what it has. It compensates. It stretches to make up for what's lacking. But it also speaks gently at first. And when we don't listen, it speaks a little louder. Not to punish, but to be heard. The 3 nutrients you've explored today, vitamin B12, magnesium, and omega-3, are not trends. They're not part of a wellness fad. They are the quiet pillars holding up some of your most vital functions. When they begin to fade, things shift. Energy drains, memory flickers, muscles tighten, moods turn, and life feels a little heavier than it needs to be. But here's the powerful truth. Your body still responds, even now, even after years of depletion or disconnection. When you give it what it's been gently asking for, it doesn't hold a grudge. It welcomes the support. It softens. It begins to rebuild. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are right on time to begin listening. Let every cramp, every sigh, every forgotten word be what it truly is. Not a failure, but a signal. And let your response be what it was always meant to be. Calm attention, loving care, small shifts that bring you back to balance. Because your body is not your enemy. It's your oldest ally, and it's still speaking. All you have to do is listen. Healing doesn't require you to do everything at once. It doesn't ask you to become someone new overnight. What it does ask, for now, is this. Begin again. Gently. Not with pressure, not with guilt. Just one small act of attention. One small decision in your day that says, I'm listening now. Maybe that means starting your morning with 1 boiled egg or a cup of yogurt. Giving your body a chance to take in a little more B12. Maybe it's sprinkling a spoonful of ground flaxseed into your oatmeal, or blending spinach into your soup. Maybe it's choosing a moment of quiet before bed, instead of 1 more hour of television, so your nervous system can settle. These aren't big gestures, but they speak a big message to your body. I'm here with you. I haven't forgotten. Your body doesn't need perfection. It needs rhythm. It needs consistency. It needs to feel supported in small, steady ways, again and again, until the message of safety sinks in. And that consistency doesn't have to be exhausting. It can feel gentle, like a glass of water before coffee, like a daily walk after breakfast, like a magnesium-rich dinner shared with a loved one. These tiny patterns build over time, and as they build, they change things. The brain starts to clear, the muscles relax more easily, the sleep deepens, the irritability softens, the strength begins to return, not just in your legs, but in your sense of self. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, with intention, with kindness, with trust that your body is not beyond help. It is still listening to you, just as you are learning to listen to it. So start small, start where you are, and let each small choice be an offering of support, of presence, of hope. Because the journey back to health isn't a leap, it's a quiet return, and your body is already opening the door. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you is already shifting. Not in fear, but in awareness. Not in panic, but in presence. You didn't come here looking for miracles. You came here because something in your body felt unfamiliar. Because you knew there had to be more than just getting older. And now you know there is. Your fatigue, your brain fog, your muscle tension, they are not the end of the story. They are the body's way of asking for help. Not screaming, just gently knocking. And today, you opened the door. B12, magnesium, omega-3. They may sound simple, even ordinary. But what they unlock in you is far from ordinary. They restore your spark. They support your mind. They steady your steps. They help you feel like you again. Not a younger you, but a more connected, more supported, more whole version of who you already are. This isn't about changing everything. It's about changing your relationship with your body, with your food, with the way you care for yourself in this stage of life. So let this be your quiet revolution. Not loud, not dramatic, just deeply felt. One small choice, one nutrient, one deeper breath, and a return, not to the past, but to yourself. Because your body hasn't given up. And now, neither have you.